Here we're going to review an example of customer development and organizational development at Leonid Systems, an enterprise software company that specializes in cloud applications. Leonid has both products where they've obtained a product market fit and they're scaling, as well as new products where they're still doing customer discovery. Leonid started out as a way for me to pay the mortgage, and that compelled us to arrive at a set of consulting practices that we knew were working in pretty short order. Those were great because we took the time to go out and learn about all the different actors and personas that are customers. This led us to a few software products that we wanted to try out. We did that with part-time development contractors before we took on a big fixed cost component of development operations, because we were bootstrapping the operation and never went out and really raised any equity capital. As we ascertained a product market fit and began to scale, a development and operations management team came in and started to manage those teams so we could scale up and properly service the customer base. And as we've continued to grow, we now have a more experienced, more specialized senior management team that's scaling the business, though we still operate in monthly cycles as we learn things from customers. We are moving to quarterly release cycles in 2013. And for new products, however, we do run customer development teams. And as CTO, that's one of my big focal areas, is having us operate on those new products the way we operated when we were first ascertaining product market fit for the products that we're now working to scale. If you've gotten to this point and you're wondering, well, how do I scale up, and I'm not sure I'm in my comfort zone to do some of these things, my advice is start with the foundation concepts: design thinking, iterative management, customer development, and agile. The speaking topics on /speaking on alexandercowan.com are a good place to start. The book also contains these things. That's why I wrote it. I would, although that said, there's many different places where you can learn about these topics. Basic technical literacy is a great starting point. There's also a number of resources on the site. That includes getting a basic view of how software is actually built, understanding architecture fundamentals, the difference between a plugin integration and an API integration, for example, and understanding the roles and systems in a technical team. What's the difference between a developer and a sysadmin? What's source control used for? What is QA automation? When is that appropriate? Things like that are relatively easy to grasp with a little research and will help you a lot, even if you have a non-technical background. Learning about Agile is a great way to help yourself collaborate more actively with your teams. And you don't need to learn pages and pages. The Agile manifestos we'll talk about in the next module is actually quite simple. And learning how to operate as a product owner, a voice of the market in Agile, is actually very straightforward. We'll talk about that in the next segment on development. Process design is really important when you're scaling. There's materials on that in Chapter 7 of the book, and there's a number of resources out there about process design. Then, only at this point, if you're, for instance, non-technical and you're wondering, should I learn how to code? Once you've got a reasonable handle on these foundation topics, that's the point at which I would go and learn Ruby, learn Python, learn how to build a website. Whatever it is you think may be your specialty area that you're interested in, these foundation concepts will really help you focus and validate what you want to go out and learn more about.